Hi, everybody. I'm Danielle Massi, and today I am joined by my co-owner of Modern Wellness, Alexandra Janelli. Alexandra, for anybody who's never met her before, is a hypnotist for celebrities, high worth individuals, and anyone who is looking to completely change their life. And I respect her work so much. As a shadow worker, my focus is always on trauma and going backwards to get to the core of things. But what happens next after that? Today, I want to talk to Alexandra about what those next steps are and how hypnosis can help. So, Alex, thank you for joining me here.
Of course, it's my pleasure. I mean, I could talk all day about hypnosis, so this is a treat for me.
Yeah. Okay. So, tell me a little bit about why hypnosis is so important.
Wonderful. So, I personally had my first experience with hypnosis back in probably 2006. I was a avid cuticle picker, and a practitioner at the time was like, "Have you ever tried hypnotherapy?" And I was like, "No, never. Should I?" Now, my therapist had wanted to put me on very high doses of OCD medication, and I just knew that was not what I wanted to do. I'm not against medication. I think if you need glasses, you need glasses. If you need medication, you need medication. But this was not the path that I wanted to go down. Within and amazingly, I took a chance on this hypnotherapist who later became my mentor. And within one session, I literally kicked the habit and I was blown away. I was like, how is that possible?
Yeah.
It wasn't until a couple years later that I left my job in environmental consulting and was like, this is what I want to do for a living. Went back, got the diploma, and I, studied handwriting analysis, and then also went back to get my coaching degree. But I mean, it is such a mind blowing process in terms of how it works and moving you forward. And I know it runs the parallel a lot actually with shadow work in terms of the different brainwave states that we go into to tap into this conscious, subconscious, and unconscious mind, where I really function as right in the subconscious area, whether it's in the alpha, beta, or theta state. And all of them serve as a little bit of a different process in what you can do within those states too.
Yeah, I think something that people don't understand is that we spend a huge chunk of our day in the subconscious where we
Oh,
are
yeah.
moving. Yeah, we're automatic. We're doing
Oh,
things
I'm
and we're
there right
not
now.
thinking.
Yeah,
We're just on autopilot. This is
yeah,
just a normal thing
exactly.
for us. Talk a little bit about that and what that means for anybody who has no idea what we're talking about.
Sure. So, hypnosis or the hypnotic state or the subconscious state is the state between awake and sleep. So, when you're falling asleep at night or waking up in the morning, you're naturally going through these different states. So, if you can fall asleep or you can wake up, congratulations, you have the ability to do hypnosis. It does require person to be a participant. It is not like you see in movies and stage shows that does exist, but those are willing participants on some level wanting to participate and be part of that. So when you go into the hypnotic states, what happens is your conscious mind kind of begins to soften and open up. And you can think of it kind of like a tightly woven net, that netting is very tightly woven when you're in the awake and aware state. It's catching everything that I'm saying and taking it off to be made logical, rational, and reasonable. And as you begin to go into those different brain wavelengths, you can think of that netting as becoming looser and more open. And that the things that I'm saying to you, instead of listening, active listening, become just sort of heard. They just sort of float around the mind and they have the opportunity in the subconscious mind to start being accepted as truth while letting go of prior associations. And what I mean by prior associations is everything is learned through association, right? If you get bit by a dog and you develop a fear of dogs, you will have a reaction because the subconscious is purely reactive. And so logically, your mind is going to go, yeah, but it's behind a fence. It's a small chihuahua, even though they're the fiercest. It's like on a leash. I don't have to be afraid. You're going to have that reaction first, and then you can sort of talk yourself down through coping mechanisms. But when we open the subconscious mind, it's what's called the giver's gain of the mind. It's like, I'm willing to give this up if I can receive this, and this feels good, but I can't just take it away, your fear of dogs, and leave you with nothing. I also have to use the language that really resonates with you. So if you're like, I want to feel calm in front of a dog, but I start to tell you, you're going to be in love with dogs and they're so cute and smooshy. your mind's gonna be like, that doesn't resonate with me, and it's gonna reject the suggestion. And so it all is working in your agenda and based on what you want to feel given in your future. And my job is always to first and foremost to understand you in context, right? In terms of the experiences that you've had, your likes, your not likes, your belief system, so that I can understand you completely and then begin to go, okay, that makes sense. Now, what is it going to be like in the future when we don't have this anymore? And I think, Danielle, where you work is like, maybe let's go back to the trauma of
Right.
being bit by a dog.
Exactly.
Um, and some people don't remember, but it's there. And that's just a different way of approaching it. And because I'm not a licensed therapist, I know my scope of work and my limitations is like, I don't deal with trauma. It might come up in your story line that you're telling me, but my job is always to move you forward. And so I think it works in a really nice tandem with shadow work, and the work that you're doing as well. And they
Yeah.
definitely can be done together.
Absolutely. And even just piggybacking on this exact example, because it's such a good one. If we were to do shadow work around the moments where you were bit by a dog and we were to change the way that it's stored in your mind, your body, your energy, and your emotions, now what's going to happen when a dog is around you going forward is up to you. And hypnosis can step in at that point and kind of go, what do we want to happen? How do we want to show up in those moments? What is it going to feel like? And it'll just navigate and guide you in a direction that's better instead of something that's
Correct.
maladaptive.
Correct. And what we do is we kind of overlay into the mind. It's like, here's where you're at now. This is how I want to feel. The mind works in images a lot of the time, senses, feeling, thoughts, and you can overlay. It's like the same way that you feel comfortable at the beach, you can feel comfortable with a dog and like overlay it. So you kind of connect these new channels and pathways.
Mhm.
So it's very exciting work.
It really is. So, for anybody who wants to learn more about hypnosis and wants to work with you, what would be the best way for them to do so?
Yeah, it's as simple as just shooting me an email. You can book online. I always sort of make sure that as people are going through the booking process, if it doesn't feel like it's a right match or that I don't feel like I'm the best resource for it, I will reach out and connect with you to make sure that it is a good connection, that I feel like I can do my best and show up for you. I always tell people you have all the answers already within you of how to move forward. You just haven't had the right person pull it out to put it
Mm,
in context
I
too.
love that.
So yeah, because I don't have all the answers. I just have a lot of tools. You give me the answers and then they're reprocessed and formulated for you.
Right.
Another way is I know not everyone can afford hypnosis or shadow work. It's not covered by insurance, unfortunately, but there is the Burble app, which is an at-home hypnosis app that Danielle is also helping me with and involved with in terms of content curation. So
The app is incredible. For anyone who is interested in starting this work and they don't know where to start, this is your starting point. This is your entry. The app is going to change the way that hypnosis is happening because everything is curated for you and nothing like that exists anywhere else.
it's really exciting work. So again, in terms of what you look at, usually I have clients start with one session, so where we get to know each other. We really create a plan and outline of what we want to do together, how you want to feel. We break it down into simple steps that maybe some clients come in for one session and they're just like off and running. And then some people need additional sessions. I always say if you're in my office long term, more than like 5 or 6 sessions, we're probably not tapping into the right stuff. So again, like start with one a series. That's a great treatment. And then there's additional work that can be done. It can be done in tandem with therapists and other work too. So it's really on your agenda.
Amazing. Well, thank you for sharing all of this with everybody that's
Of
watching. And
course.
for all of you at home, thank you for tuning in. And we love you very much. Bye, everybody.
Bye.